Be still, my soul. The Lord is on thy side. Bear patiently the cross of grief or pain. Leave to the Lord thy God to order and provide. In every change he will remain. Be still, my soul. Thy best, thy heavenly friend, through thorny ways leads to a joyful end. Be still, my soul. Thy God doth undertake to guide the future as he has the past. Thy hope, thy confidence, let nothing shake. All now mysterious shall be bright at last. Be still, my soul. The waves and winds still know his voice, who ruled them while he dwelt below. And on it goes. You know this hymn. How many times have you sung it? And its lyrics and its beautiful tune have invoked peace. The words and the melody calm the soul and quiet the heart. It is a hymn of faith written by someone who experienced both the challenges of mortality as well as the comfort and love of heaven. And yet, the hymn you and I sing today could be aptly described as a collaboration of divine providence. Let me explain. The original words were written by Katharina von Schlegel, who was born October 22nd, 1697 in Germany. As she came of age, Katharina was part of the Pietist movement in Lutheran Germany, which had been described as a religious reform movement that began among certain German Lutherans in the 17th century. The Pietist movement emphasized personal faith against the main Lutheran Church's perceived stress on doctrine and theology over Christian living. Pietism placed an emphasis on living Christ-like, being good, living the Lord's teachings over rote forms of institutional worship. The Pietist movement emphasized hymn singing, and a lot of hymns were written for the intent of spiritual refinement and renewal. Well, that was Katharina writing hymns. She wrote this one during that time. Very little is known. In fact, for the most part, nothing is known of the rest of Katharina's life. Not even the date and place of her death can be named for sure. Okay. About 100 years later, after that hymn was written, Jane Laurie Borthwick of Edinburgh, Scotland, studied, learned, and came to love German hymns. With some encouragement, she undertook to translate some of those beautiful hymns into English. In 1853, Jane and her sister Sarah published Hymns from the Land of Luther. Be Still, My Soul was among them. Jane was born in 1813 in Edinburgh, the daughter of an insurance manager. She and Sarah were members of the Free Church of Scotland, an evangelical separatist group that broke away from the Church of Scotland in 1843, demanding that the church purify itself of corruption and live as becometh Christians. Jane was a modest, generous woman who never married, but actively supported Christian causes and was generous with her wealth. She passed away in September 1897. When Katharina's poem was translated by Jane from Germany and set to music, it was likely set to German music. Well, when Jane Borthwick published it in Scotland, it was sung to another tune called St. Helen. Then, Johann Julius Christian Sibelius, or Jean Sibelius, was born December 8, 1865, in Finland. To this day, he is regarded as Finland's greatest composer, and his music is often credited with having helped Finland develop a national identity during its struggle for independence from Russia. It was in 1899 when Sibelius wrote a patriotic piece, what's called a symphonic poem, titled Finland Awakens. At the time, Finland was under control of the Russian Empire, but it had enjoyed, Finland, a large degree of cultural autonomy, that is, until 1899, when Tsar Nicholas II exerted stricter control over the Finns. Among other concerns, he imposed greater censorship over the press. In response, as a matter of protest and national pride, the people of Finland organized press days, which included a theatrical production of a series of 6 tableaux celebrating the history of Finland. Sibelius was commissioned to write the underscoring music for that production. The last of the 6 scenes included the music later known as Finlandia. Finlandia, or Finland Awakes, became immensely popular in Finland. Then, about 1927, a Welshman named David Evans, randomly it seems, paired portions of Finlandia with Jane Borthwick's translation of Katarina's poem text, and of it came the version of Be Still, My Soul, that is sung across the Christian world today. In 1933, it was published for the first time in the United States. Hear the words and the spirit of this great hymn one more time. Be still, my soul. The Lord is on thy side. Bear patiently the cross of grief or pain. Leave to thy God to order and provide. In every change, he faithful will remain. Be still, my soul. Thy best, thy heavenly friend, through thorny ways leads to a joyful end. This beautiful hymn invokes peace and calm and faith to the soul. And yet, do you see it? It was created in all of its elements of 3 different artists who never knew each other, from 3 different countries, more than 100 years apart, who all shared one thing in common: a strident rebellion against tyranny and oppression. Out of protesting hearts came the cry, Be still, my soul.